The definition of a God term is an expression to which all other expressions are ranked subordinate. Words whose opposite carries the greatest rebuke, and it has an enhancing power and capacity to demand sacrifice. And when Richard Weaver studied ultimate terms, he studied powerful abstract nouns that had an effect on ethics. And if there are any two words that has an effect on ethics and society, it would have to be pride and freedom during the 1960s. Coming into the 60s, the civil rights movement was at its peak. And how pride and freedom had affected the civil rights movement was African Americans. They were tired of being second class citizens, and they had too much pride to be doormats to Caucasian individuals. So during this time, many individuals like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and other leaders like Medgar Evers, they took a stand to fight for freedom and many examples of those were protests, sit-ins, and boycotts of certain establishments. It helped the movement progress. The civil rights movement went from just a couple of people picketing an eating establishment in the 1950s and boycotting the bus depots in the 1950s to the March in Washington in 1963, and it helped it progress to making separate is not equal. It helped establish laws. It helped establish the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Many individuals having the pride to fight for the freedom to be equal. Another big issue during the 1960s had to be the war in Vietnam. And during this time, although many American citizens were not for the war in Vietnam, and they spit on soldiers when they came home, really pride and freedom was really instilled within the soldiers. Although they felt that the war in Vietnam was a lost cause, and they did not feel like they were fighting for the citizens of Southeast Asia, they felt the pride to fight for the man next to them and fight for the right to be alive, and their freedom was to make it home alive. In Vietnam, pride and freedom was really instilled from the soldiers. It was within the soldiers. When the next man went down, it was leave no man behind. Many soldiers, they fought for the man next to them. They just wanted to get out alive. Many people did not want to go to Vietnam. So when they got there, it really wasn't. They really weren't fighting for a cause. They were fighting to get home and helping people and helping themselves and helping their comrades next to them. That then instilled pride within them. Within the 60s, pride and freedom really affected pop culture. We went from the conservative short haircut and wearing suits and women wearing skirts all the time in the 1940s and 50s to people wearing longer hair, wearing afros. I mean, it was pride and freedom was really evident in the song by James Brown. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Many people were beginning to have more pride and going against the usual constraints that society had placed in the previous years. To wrap it up, pride and freedom was not only big during the 1960s, but it was big throughout American history, and it still is big. And this concludes my video project for Cast 201. Thank you.